Cheers, shifters. Happy full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So, this is the beginning of me integrating together, connecting together the weekly rune messages that I go by the day with the lunar spirit specials that I do every new moon and full moon. Still the same amount of content. It's just delivered delivered better. Instead of me dividing it into many different videos, I'm just doing 2 videos twice a month. Each video will have rune for the day. Still 14 runes. I combined 2 rune packs together. So we have 50 runes to choose from, so no worries. There's enough. The messages are not going to be watered down. And that's on top of the regular animal spirit messages. And of course, now we're adding the lunar spirit to this. So a tarot reading and or general channeled messages for the new or full moon. Here we are for the full moon in Scorpio. Very excited. I'm going to share with you that you are being welcomed into my home. You're seeing a different point of view than the one you're seeing on YouTube. I just recently moved here about a month and a half ago, and I finally feel like it's looking like a home. I am really happy to be here. I feel really good about this transition. And another personal share, the eclipse last night that was in 25 degrees Scorpio was conjunct exact. It was right on my Saturn. My Saturn is 25 degrees Scorpio and conjunct my South Node. That has the collective South Node conjuncted as well. So huge purging, but I was timid towards it, but it actually felt amazing. And then in the recent few days, I've received such powerful channeled messages about how for the witches, and this I shared on YouTube and on Instagram, for the witches, this is celebratory. Not in ways of going out to the eclipse and being happy, but there is something dying within us. And the thing that is dying within us shifters, witches, wise women, wise men, is the binds, the confinements to karma, to cycles, the Saturnian rigidness that has really suppressed and oppressed our powers. It's the dark world's persecution of us witches that has wanted to tame us, to restrict us, to take from us, and has tragically succeeded for a very long time. And this, to me, the way I feel it strongly is liberation of that. This is a time for you to harness your powers unapologetically, shamelessly, because many of you are at a point in your life that you are ready. You have the sense of responsibility. You trust yourself, and spirit trusts you to do good with your power, to not take advantage of it. So don't take that lightly and don't take that for granted. With power comes great responsibility. Spirit feels like you are ready for that. So please honor that and live by it. Okay? Now another note. This content is special for patrons on Patreon. However, rarely, special occasions, I want to share this with the collective on YouTube. If I choose to do so, it will not be right away. You will have the first access. It will happen at least a few days from now. You will always be my #1 special humans. I'm so grateful for you. And thank you for your generosity of spirit and for understanding how certain messages just need to echo out there in the collective. Also, it's an opportunity for other people to see what we have going on here and to decide that they want to join as well and grow this community. It will be very helpful, beneficial, and joyous for me and for us as a whole. So thank you for understanding. If you are bothered by this, share with me. I would like to hear that. I will listen for sure. I don't promise to agree, but I will definitely respect and listen. And if there are many of you that, if the majority says I don't like that, I might change my mind and go with my people. It's a possibility that I'm open to, but I do hope you understand why every now and then I feel like I want to do this. All right. Okay. So I already pre-pulled, you can't see it right now, but I already pre-pulled 14 runes for the next 14 days. Then we will shuffle animal spirit and pull them together. But first we're going to do the lunar spirit messages from the full moon in Scorpio for you guys. So we're going to start there. I feel so excited. I feel like such new energy is coming. I really feel the ancient energy within me. I've always sensed the ancient wisdom within me, kind of, you know, floating in my veins, right? Like, I always felt the echoes of it, but I feel it in such a solidified, articulate manner, almost like it's been hiding in my bones, and now it's coming out to the skin, and I really feel like it's echoing not just inside of me, but also to the outside, where there's no more the blockage between my inner ancient world and my outer modern existing world. And it's such a integrated, balanced, harmonious sensation that is new to me. I'm very grateful because it was always so conflicting and full of resistance, my inner and my outer, because the world couldn't combine. They couldn't touch one another. It was like I was carrying two completely different timelines inside of me, and the energetic toll that it took, it takes so much energy to hold within you two very powerful different timelines, the modern self, the ancient self, but not allowing them to integrate into one existence. And now I feel like the veil is lifted, the dam is broken down, and the streams get to flow into one another and become one ocean, one fluid existence. And it's overwhelming, but it's exhilarating, and I hope you might share this feeling with me. Let me know. But I feel this really strongly, so I'm really excited. I know some of you out there might be feeling a very powerful, dramatic, possibly sense of purging, of toxicity, of negativity. A lot of you out there are releasing generational karma, some of you generational curses. You should note that anyone who has cast a generational curse onto your ancestry bloodline will now suffer very, very heavy consequences. So those are individuals, entities that this blood lunar eclipse is not going to be kind to. And unfortunately, this could include people who are today good people, wouldn't hurt anyone, but they're carrying this evil infliction onto another from the past, and it could be bouncing back. I don't want you to be scared, because I don't think it's those of you that are drawn to this channel or to this space. And I think if you've already went through those cycles, because those of you that are here have done so much work and have done so much good in this lifetime to balance, to counterbalance that energy if it had existed in you. So I don't want you to worry. I'm just sharing with you what I'm picking up for different aspects of the collective. You might hear all kinds of things happening to people where it's almost like cosmic justice. Maybe it's people that really sabotaged you, really hurt you, stole your energy, made you look a certain way, made themselves look good at your expense, manipulated and distorted people's perception on you in ways of belittling you and strengthening at your expense. That is going to be dismantled and backfired right now so strongly. I really feel it. But I mean, like, this is acute, poignant arrow to the heart kind of energy. My advice to you, if that happens and you feel like justice is served, be happy. Make a toast. However, don't gloat. Don't extend that joy beyond what is necessary for you to acknowledge the justice that is served, and the regained equilibrium for your energy, right? Don't go past beyond it. And then once you acknowledge it and say gratitude, then just send them light and close that story behind you. Okay? For those cases, you might have people who've been manipulated about you in regards to you reach out to you, either apologizing, saying, "Oh, I recently found out the truth," or "I realized that it was completely the opposite. I realize now that I haven't been seeing things clearly." So you might receive apologies, you might receive invitations to rejoin, or offers of compensation. You might receive financial compensation, emotional compensation, energetic compensation. Some people will feel the need to present a gesture or a token or a what's the word? When you give, oh my God, I forget a word. It will come to me. Be humble. Accept. Don't say no, no, no. Accept. You deserve that equilibrium. It's important. And they need to give that to you. If by any chance you feel like you're on the other side and your mind was manipulated and distorted in regards to someone or something, and you feel inclined to balance the scales, and give a token, do so. Okay, if you feel called to do so, then it means it's very important. Please don't dismiss this energy on both sides of the spectrum. Both sides of the aisle, I'm sorry. I'm feeling the energy of initiation. You've gone through some sort of trials, tests. It doesn't have to be like energetic and karmic. I mean, like in something in your life, in a field in your life, you've been initiated. You've been, I don't want to say indoctrinated, because it has a very negative connotation, but you've been taught, and now there's the initiation. There's the okay. But for many of you, it's actually way past it. You're actually in a place that some of you still think you need to learn, but you're actually called to be a master of something, or to teach, or to open something of your own, but you're still in the student mindset. Beginner's mind, we're always students, there's always much to learn. The greatest masters in history are those who constantly saw themselves as beginner students, hence they constantly had space to learn and to contain more information and knowledge. However, you have to know when it's time to step up to that podium and speak. Think how grateful you are to your teachers and to those who stepped up to the podium and spoke and taught you and inspired you. Don't deprive it from others because of a sense of false humility, or holding on to a sense of past insecurity that you still feel for whatever reason is part of your character. So you already know it's not you, but behavior-wise, you're still enacting that character. More for my shifters for this next couple of weeks / 6 months, because it's an eclipse, so it has long-term effects. There are going to be very difficult events, world events, leaders falling, leaders rising, breakdowns of bonds and commitments and connections and promises, and then forming new ones, new alliances, new bonds, new relationships, new connections. It's a very death and rebirth energy, the dragon and the phoenix. The old traditional world, think philosophy of the ancient East, think martial arts, but I'm not referring to the McDojos and the MMA crap. No offense on anyone who does MMA, but I'm referring to arts that are about the spirit and the philosophy, and then the fist is just the final extension of that energy as opposed to the path and the purpose, right? It's not about fighting, it's about knowing how to fight and energy work. I'm referring to that type of warfare, fighting philosophy that is very spiritual and is for the sake of harmony and peace. I did a short reel about that on Instagram. I recently reread The Art of War. Last time I read it, I was a teenager. I'm going back to classics that I've read before as a very young girl, and I am rereading them from my current mindset, and it's amazing. And I recognized how cruel the book is, The Art of War, and how brilliant it is at the same time. And how on one hand, it teaches you how to be evil, but if you look at the big picture, it's for the sake of good. It is very intricate. Its wisdom is very, very complex and intricate, and you have to be you have to have a very wide range of different types of wisdom in order to contain it and understand it and not take it as either very good or very bad. It is both. And there's much room for you to have your own personal opinion about it. I don't have a bottom line, but it is very educational for those who seek to do harm from war. It teaches them how to do so. However, the good side of it, those of us that seek to create peace and harmony and justice and equilibrium, in order to learn how to exert light, you have to become familiar with darkness. And this book carries so much of the wisdom of the Tao itself. So those who come from a mindset of light, you can read the book and become acquainted with the mindset of evil and ill intent in order to, and I'm quoting from the book a very well-known phrase, you've probably heard this before, know thyself but not thy enemy, and you will lose half the battles. Know thy enemy and not thyself, you will lose half the battles. Know neither, you will lose all the battles. Know thy enemy and thyself, and in 1,000 battles you will lose none. If you want to extend real light work, you have to become acquainted with the darkness. If you want to bring peace, you have to be acquainted with war. It's a tragic acquaintance because you can't really know war unless you go through it. But in this earthly reality that we chose to go through, Goddess knows why, the path to peace goes through war, and the path to love goes through fear, and the path to light goes through darkness. And I think this lunar eclipse, this full moon in Scorpio, brings forth all of that. Because Scorpio is also the sign of purity, pure light, which is why there's so much darkness in the archetype of Scorpio, because of everything that I just said, because the path to pure light is through darkness, right? It's the empty matter and the empty space that contains matter and holds it. It's the darkness that allows light to shine. Light doesn't shine within light. It shines in relation to the darkness it passes through. And those of you out there that are powerful enough to contain the yin and yang, to contain the empty matter and the matter, to contain space and planets, to contain good and bad, you are initiated to step onto that podium and speak to the world and guide the world. There is a new dawn of leaders. This is the dawn of the witch, not the evil witch, the stereotypical one that the church has created in order to vilify wise women and to take their power and their influence onto society, and then kind of got stuck because of literature and movie. Until today, you will see in Disney movies portrayals of witches as bad and evil, and even in the spiritual community, there's this deter from the word witch. Like I see people are afraid to use the word witch. You know, as a Jew, it makes me think of how Hitler vilified and demonized the Jewish people. Can you imagine if until today we would be scared of saying the word Jew just because it got vilified by evil? The way to that is succumbing to it. The way to counteract it and to defeat it and to cancel that evil is to say Jew in ways of love and goodness. And the same goes for any culture or nation or people that have been vilified. Most certainly witches, because there's the most amount of ignorance even within the spiritual community. I see witches don't refer to themselves as witches. You are a wise woman, you are a wise man, you are an oracle, a seer, a seeker, a shifter. What are you doing? Refer to yourself as this honorable, respectful, powerful caption. Claim it, be proud of it, and educate. If someone is deterred by it, educate them. Tell them, no, I'm not the evil witch that you see in the movies or in the stories. That's just a continuance of the vilification. No. This is what a witch means. The word witcha means, and literally it means wise woman. I'm a healer. I'm an advisor. It's neither good or bad. Whatever, any culture out there, any race out there, any religion out there, within it, there's good and bad. And it's up to the individual's heart, right? If I'm a martial artist, you're not going to be scared of me just because I know how to throw a punch. You're not going to assume that if I have the skill, then I wouldn't use it for the bad. You might even feel safer with me because you'll know I can defend you. Same goes to witch or any person of skill and knowledge. Don't assume that because someone has a skill of some sort, it means that they'll use it for the bad. That is prejudice. That is bigotry. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. And if you claim yourself as you are and someone doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt and approaches you from the vilification mindset, educate them. Maybe I'll cut this part and just put up this part for the collective on YouTube and save the runes just for my patrons. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I feel like that's fair. Let me know what you think. Anything else? I prepped my cards, but I don't feel the need. Maybe I'll pull a couple just for the fun of it. What else? Final message from the collective, especially for my shifters on Patreon, from this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Through the tarot. I had a dragonfly land on my hand a few weeks ago and just stayed there for 3 whole minutes. I have that also, the full video. I took a video of it on Instagram. It was so magical, and I don't know, I felt like I needed to wear the dragonfly today because of the archetype of the phoenix and the dragon, probably, now that I think of it. The phoenix is the sun, the dragon is the moon. Phoenix is the yang, the dragon is the yin. Phoenix is the light, dragon is the darkness. None of them is good or bad. They're both just polar forces to this life that we're growing through. Two of Swords in the reverse. Okay, I was holding the deck in reverse, but for a reason. Two of Swords in the reverse, I like it. There's a wake up. You've been blindfolded. You've been blindfolded to yourself. You couldn't look at yourself in the mirror, so you didn't know how powerful you were, how beautiful you are. You've been entangled by energies that wanted you to perform their bidding. They've harnessed your power and moved you like a puppet. The eclipse took away that fog, and now you can see. They might still be trying to puppeteer you, but now you can see, so you can cut them out. The Wheel of Fortune. You are clearing the communication between you and the multiverse, between you and source creation. Page of Cups and Knight of Cups. Your esoteric ideas and sensation that you kept inside out of shy, coyness, and insecurity, you're now beginning to feel proud of them and bringing them out to the surface, and you communicate them to the world. And if it used to be something inner that you kept to yourself because you didn't know how the person or the place will see it, and you were kind of cautious as to who you're talking to about what, now you wear it on your sleeve. Now you know that it's your gift, and anyone who's there to listen is lucky. There's someone who loves you very much that you don't know about it yet, but you're going to find out soon. They're going to take it out from within. They kept it inside, and now they're going to express it to you, possibly in a poetic manner, in a very loving manner, or a romantic manner. You have been free for a while, actually. You've been free for a while, Shifter, and you just had to find out. It's like, think about someone who's been in prison, right? And the bars got opened and they were let out, but their eyes were covered, so they didn't know they're outside. And even though there was different air, different breeze, different smells, different sounds to show them, to mark them that now they are free, because they've been closed up for so long, they didn't dare to dream. And they didn't see, but now it's going to be, the veil is going to drop. And it's better than you think. Okay. I'm now going to move to sharing the rune messages with you for the next 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed these messages. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave space here and shuffle Animal Spirit. And then once I have the Animal Spirit out, I will transition with my chair and start talking to you and share the runes, okay? Hold on. Animal Spirit for my shifters on Patreon. For the coming 2 weeks, in ways of clarifying, adding to the messages of the runes, commencing Monday, May 16th through 22nd, through May 29th. Okay, so Monday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday. 2 more animal spirit, please, for my shifters. One more animal spirit for my shifters.